Hi guys, welcome back to my second video of building my startup. Actually, I missed my upload by a week because a lot has been going on and it made me realize that I don't have the luxury to experiment with a new language. So I'm pivoting my choice of language and stack to the one I'm comfortable with. If you watch my previous video, I plan on developing my backend with Rust, Diesel, Web, and CORM, but due to time restraints, I'll be leaving this to focus on delivery and use this when I need them to. So instead of using the Rust stack, I'm back to JavaScript, TypeScript, Nodejs, but I'm trying a different ORM. Prior to this, I've been developing my backend with Prisma, but now I'm trying Drizzle, and it's been so wonderful. I highly recommend it because this ORM, if you're planning on to migrating your so-called microservice, well, actually, some people call it microservice, but it's actually a monolith. Um, so if you're planning on to migrating your microservice, your monolith services to microservice in the future, I highly recommend you use this ORM. So the way Drizzle is structured and developed is very, very smart. You can have a boilerplate like this that you can use throughout your schema. So if like um, your user needs a timestamp, updated, created, deleted, and so on and so forth. If your user needs it and your post needs it, you don't have to repeat it every time you create a model. So you can have a boilerplate that and a template that can be used throughout your schema. When I was developing in Prisma, this wasn't a luxury that we have with Prisma. Well, not at least for me. I don't know. Prisma have that feature, but I work in a startup, so everything is rushing, and you don't have the luxury to learn. But if you find a way to do that, if you find a way to do this in Prisma, please let me know in the comments below. So back, sorry, I digress. So when I was developing is in Prisma, I have to repeat the same field across multiple models, but now I don't have to, which makes things much cleaner and faster to develop. And due to budget restraints, I ended up combining some services into one project because I don't want to spread myself too thin. Like I've looked at DigitalOcean, I looked at um, what are the services that I looked at? Like railway, I guess I looked at railway and it's really expensive. And I've asked ChatGPT to come up with like a sheet for my expenses, and I found out like railway is like the highest among them. And DigitalOcean, if you go for the droplet and host your Postgres on the droplet, it is much cheaper in my opinion because that's like the currency exchange and everything. But it is much cheaper, but it's not the cheapest. So I went for render.com, and I really combined a lot of the services into one major project. So I might end up with like two platforms. So two services, two web services, two APIs. Um, in two APIs, I'll be hosting two APIs. So this is for the user, this is for the provider, which is me. So it ends up being a lot more cheaper than the previous one. If you're interested in seeing the budget that I've um, come up with, feel free to comment below because it is a lot of consideration. I have to make a lot of consideration to host my application. So there's like, if you host on a droplet, you can have multiple microservices, which is what I really want. But because the budget is too restraining, I ended up using render.com, have a bunch of services on one platform and another bunch of services in another platform. And there's going to be two DB instances. So in the end, I have to pay for only four. But when I was playing around with DigitalOcean, I can host my microservices on DigitalOcean's droplet and also the Postgres instance on the droplet as well. But um, it's it's a lot of work to maintain um, the database and everything. So I ended up opting for render.com, two platforms, this one and there's going to be another one. This is the one that I'm going to interact with most of the time, and the other one is going to be the businesses that interacts with it. So this is mine, this the other one is consumer. So this one will have its own DB, that one will have its own DB. I end up paying for four um, features, but in the end, I have much more free time to um, improvise, upgrade the system instead of like having to maintain. And if things slows down or I have trouble with scaling, I don't have to like worry. I just click a few buttons. So in the end, I'm much happier with paying for this and scale it than having like the microservices on droplets, which I'm very happy with. But and at the end, I have to deal with the DB, with the database and everything. So I'm very happy with my current choice. But if you have um, other options or suggestions, please let me know in the comments because I am still new at this. So Um, I digress. I am so sorry I digress again. So because I don't want to spread myself too thin, and as I realized that new requirements are needed to make the app as clean as possible instead of making the ABAC, the access control in one big table, I spread them in departments. So retail controls retail access, accounting for accounting, etc. But some employees may have multiple access because, let's be real, some companies, even me, might take you as a sales assistant, but you might need to do some delivery when the customer requires. So I considered that, and I realized that I need to restructure some parts because those parts became obsolete. Um, but I might implement because we also have career like Uber, and maybe in some parts they have Grab or any services, courier services like that. Maybe those type of services are going to be in you know in a different function, in a different schema. Maybe it's going to expenses, and we can label those expenses as as business expenses. I'm going to look at that later. I'm going to focus on this now. So now I am ditching these stacks to focus on delivery, but will soon get back to them once they are in need for scalability. Um, So I think that's all for today. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe if you like to keep updated. Leave a like if you find this insightful. And like before I said, I'm really new to this. I'm relatively new to this. So comment your suggestions or concern. It would mean the world to me. So yeah, leave your suggestion in the comment section. So that's it for today. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you soon. Bye.